Today we're going to be looking at how to bring in the Mailchimp data. Let's get started. So let's quickly check the details. Here is my account, data warehouse information, database and schema where I'm going to pull the data. And I can test the connectivity just to make sure that I can successfully connect. Yes, okay, it works. And we're going to create a folder here. I've already created a folder called Demo Mailchimp, and I'm going to create an orchestration job here to load the data from our Mailchimp component. So let's create this job here. Now in this job, we're going to be using our Mailchimp component. We're going to bring it onto our canvas. Now you'll see in Mailchimp query component, when you go on to the help, you can actually use either the API keys or the full OAuth authentication. So I'll click on the details and you'll see that in here you can select the authentication mechanism. So in the authentication you can check an option either for the OAuth or set up an API key. To set up an API key, you would go onto a Mailchimp third-party OAuth setup. Here you will set up go log on to your Mailchimp account. You will go into your account and you're going to create the API keys that you can use to access your Mailchimp, or you can set up the OAuth authentication, which requires you to set up the third-party app, and you will provide the details of your redirect URI in that application and come back to your once that's been set up on your Mailchimp server. What you're going to do is you're going to come back to your project and you will go onto your managed OAuth, and here you will create the third-party setup. So if I find my service here, so we find the Mailchimp, and here I'm going to provide demo Mailchimp and quickly set on the settings, and I will provide my client ID, client secret, and the API key, and click on the next, and I'm going to authorize my application to connect from my Matillion application. So once it's been configured, I can start using it inside my application. What we're going to do today is we're going to be using one of the API keys that I have already been set up. So I'm going to bring in my developer account key, and I'm going to use it in my Mailchimp. So let's quickly provide the API keys here. So my authentication mechanism is already API key, and I'm going to select store in component so that I enter my API keys here, and then I will select the data source. So I will select one of the data here as templates. So I will select that. And when I select on the data selection, I can see all the columns that I need to pull. I'll select them all. And then I'll go select my S3 staging area. And I will select the table. Let's call it stage templates. And everything looks green, and let's clean that and run this job. Okay, it is staged 100 records. Okay, looks like the job already completed. Let's look in the task info and see how many records have been pulled. So I can see that I have pulled in 100 records from the Mailchimp query because that's been set up here. I have set up the limit of 100, so it pulled 100 records. Now we're going to create one job here. We're going to call it check Mailchimp load. And in this job, what we're going to do is we're going to create a table. We're going to read the table that we just created. So let's go switch to that job. Going to select the table. And we created a table called STG templates. So we're going to find that table here and see if we can see all the 100 records in here. So I'll select on the column names. I have all the columns here. Looks good. If I go on to sample now, I have 100 rows. And I can see the data also here and the sample. It looks good. So when I go to the Mailchimp component, guys, you can actually go back to your help and click on the data model. So guys, in this data model, you can see that we have all the tables and we have all the views in the Mailchimp that you can import directly using our component. So it's very easy to set up. Either you can use the API key or you can also use the OAuth authentication. So we've just seen that we can pull the data using API key in this component, so we can successfully pull the data from our Mailchimp server to our data warehouse.